If you are in college and considering getting an iPad, let me tell you why I thought it was an amazing investment for me, and maybe I can help you decide as well. And this is especially coming from someone who is in a tech major but also very artsy. For starters, iPads are obviously a serious investment. They do come in refurbished or like the iPad Airs, which are cheaper. But if you are going to be working with large files, large problem sets, large Procreate files, I highly, highly, highly recommend upgrading your iPad as much as possible, getting the Pro, getting the maximum storage, because the last thing you want to be doing is deleting old homework problem sets or accidentally deleting things that you need. You just want to be able to open your iPad and it work. So I highly recommend upgrading if you can. And also, before you invest, check if your college can help you sponsor and pay for this. There's a lot of different scholarships and tech funds that you can apply to. What worked for me is getting an additional internship to help pay for this iPad. Okay, now getting into whether the iPad is actually going to be helpful for you, what I have found is that if you're in a techie major or an engineering major, the iPad is super useful over like a language arts or like social studies major. This is because if you're in a major that requires a lot of reading, having the physical textbook in front of you is so much more helpful. You can actually highlight things. You can highlight on the iPad, but sometimes those textbooks take so much storage, and then referring to things is a lot harder. Whereas if you're working through a problem set, having all of your problem sets organized on one folder in like Notability is so easy. For me, having like when you're doing a problem set in your notebook and then you also have notes on the next page, it just gets really overwhelming and overstimulating for me to have to go back and forth. Whereas on the iPad, I can just have everything organized in its folders and I'm not losing anything. It's also great if you have a bunch of different classes that you're switching back and forth from. You don't have to carry like 10 different notebooks and textbooks. It's just all on your iPad. Also, personally, when you're taking engineering or like computer science notes, sometimes, first of all, the professor is going so fast. Second of all, like, it's just so nice to be able to annotate the actual slide and add your additional example problems rather than having to like write out the code. It's just like really hard sometimes, hard to keep up. I like it just having everything in one spot. Okay, now let's switch gears and talk about the art perspective. The iPad is a total game changer if you're super artsy. I love the app Procreate. It's just a one-time payment of around $10 to $15 and you're good. You're set for life. I also took a Procreate class in college. It was like a nightly class where I would like learn different techniques. I highly recommend. It just adds to your toolbox of like ways to draw, but I love using Procreate to make cards, and then obviously I use it to draw all my fashion croquis and like all my fashion designs. Also at Berkeley where I went, there was a design and innovation certificate, and I loved using Procreate to prototype all the projects that I was making for that certificate. This is honestly just the tip of the iceberg of what you can do with an iPad, and I still use it so much post-grad. Whether it's brushing up on my SQL knowledge or again drawing more fashion drawings, I love the iPad and I highly, highly recommend